Why assume spheres can't revolve around the flat surface? You have the flat surface and you have electromagnetic levitation. Who needs gravity? Gravity is a theory that does not respect the reality of the real world. Electromagnetic levitation. Vibes of Cosmos explains the electric universe. This is just a representation. Vibes of Cosmos explains it a lot better, but for the purpose of understanding and the electromagnetic field, force field, an electrolytic dome battery, the salt water, plus minus what sun and moon. Very simple. Now check this out. So again, this is just like for a representation for us to understand a bit better. For a in-depth research, Vibes of Cosmos in their books in English, they explain a lot more. So the sun's electromagnetism reacts. You see, you have electrodes, wire, salt water. The sun's, and Vibes of Cosmos explain this in a lot of detail. The sun's electromagnetism reacts with the conductivity of the salt water. Salt water conductivity, so simple anyone can prove it. Salt dissolves into water to a solution of 26%, creating a high conductivity. Electrolytes. So easy, a child can do it, making a battery with salt water. The tides are simple. Got salt and water, you've got light and DC power. Molecular structure makes electrolytes. Salt water conducts. Here you have the conductivity from tap water, potable water, freshwater streams, industrial wastewater, and seawater. So much higher with salt. Now, again, this is CGI. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows that the Earth and the Sun, they're not spheres, and the Sun is not fire. Again, this is just for the representation purposes. Vibes of Cosmos explains a lot better. Electromagnetic pole through Hyperborea, the black sun, and you have the positive, the sun, the negative, the moon. They're refractions of the electromagnetism, which Vibes of Cosmos explains so well. And then we have the high frequency electromagnetic waves in the atmosphere, which of course we have the all the electric power in this electromagnetic universe. And the Earth is an electromagnetic Tesla coil. Nikola Tesla explained it very well in his time, and many of the processes that we see in the day today, including the lights in the sky, so the colors of the sky. Now, we have the noble gases, also called the inert gases, which are displayed in the atmosphere on layers according to their density. Nothing to do with gravity. Density. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon. And these gases react constantly with the electromagnetic force or power of the sun. And depending on the time of the day, because of the electromagnetic force field of the sun and the electromagnetic force field that surrounds all the time, and because of the wavelength of that electromagnetism, that's why we have different colors of the sky in the early morning, during the day, and in the late evening. And of course, if you have like the neon reacts more with the colors of the early morning and late evening, and xenon reacts more, xenon and krypton react more with the colors of the midday when the sky is blue or blue-white. And then purple, we also have purple sometimes in the morning or afternoon, depending on the wavelength, until the argon and helium go to neon reaction. So these are the colors in layers, as you can see. According, the sun is always present when it's daylight, but there is like different wavelength because there's a wavelength of the electromagnetism. So you have the full spectrum of light with all the noble gases. Why? And why is it like this in layers? Because the gases, these gases I've mentioned before, they have different density. Okay, so higher density they get lower. Higher density they get lower, and lower density they go higher, just because that's how density works. Electrostatic source and magnetism. Daylight colors, you see here the daylight colors of neon. Why? Because neon has this color between yellow and orange. So daylight colors of neon, yellow and orange, and in the early days or in the early hours or the late hours of the day. And here you can see it much better. As you can see, in the sunrise we have a more yellowish thing, which has to do with more with like helium, In the late evening, in the sunset, we have the neon, which reacts to that. Neon and argon, which react to the more like reddish and purple. Apologies. And of course, the krypton and xenon react in the middle of the day or during the day. We have like this blue in different intensities. Sometimes it goes to dark blue, and of course, clear near to the sun, it goes to a whitish blue. So easy to understand. So the gases, the noble gases, they're always present, and there's nothing much more to say about that. Flat Earth battery, phosphorescence, fluorescent and phosphorus light, Tesla coil, and of course here you can see the moon. Vibes of Cosmos explains the moon very well, and also here you can understand the moon because we live in a big battery, and the charging from 0 to 0, charging in the 14-15 days, goes from 0 all the way to 100 in the middle of the month, and then decharges again. And that's why we as electric beings, because we are electric human beings, our brain cells work with electricity, electric impulses, and also the woman, both men and women, but also women because of their cycle of menstruation, also is very linked to the this cycle of the electromagnetic energy. And now you see the moon in a different way, and in a different shape, and the electromagnetic waves, which are the MR and EMR, always like present, and how the actually Vibes of Cosmos, if you read the books, again explains very well this whole process with the moon, and also the phosphorescence and everything else, and the lights. So it's and now you see, I guess you see the world you live in this enclosed system in a very different way. The truth couldn't be simpler, and Nikola Tesla explained this in his time over and over again. And also, why does the government always study flat Earth? You can see here from this document of the government of the Army Research Laboratory from February 2001, propagation of electromagnetic fields over flat Earth. And they state horizontal to a homogeneous flat Earth. So the Army, instead of publishing papers, the Army, okay, instead of publishing papers on the spinning ball Earth with curved water and saying globe Earth spinning with curved water, they say a homogeneous flat Earth, okay? There would be no reason to do this unless they actually know, and they of course they know that the Earth is flat, and there's no such thing as a spinning globe with spinned curved water. And there's no reason to, like some people say, oh, they're just doing this because they're interested in like theory. No, the Army is interested in practical reality of the real world. That's why they do their studies on the propagation of electromagnetism over the flat Earth, over a homogeneous flat ground plane, to the natural Earth terrain. So fascinating when the Army gives you the reason. So we have the electric sun. The thermonuclear sun is just CGI, and the electric sun is what it happens in the real world. And then we have water, of course. Water is naturally diamagnetic, repels a magnetic field. Diamagnetic, a material that creates a magnetic field in opposition to an externally applied magnetic field, which is the magnetic field that is always present on Earth. This weak opposing field produces a repelling force. When an electromagnet is placed near salt water, it creates a moving magnetic field in the water due to salt water's conductive properties. The salt water then creates an opposing magnetic field. Pure science. This creates water movement and turbulence, and we have the electromagnetic field all the time present on Earth. When the sun and moon are aligned in the sky at full moon and new moon, the tides are stronger and higher. Vibes of Cosmos explain this a lot better. And when the sun and moon are at 90 degrees angles from each other, at first and last quarter moon, the tides are weaker and smaller. Now you understand why the tides depend on the moon. Could this help explain tides? Sun acting as the positive plus electromagnetic energy causing low tide, and moon acting as the negative electromagnetic energy causing high tide. That's why the popular knowledge of the moon and the tides. There's a continuous exchange of energy going on between the sun and the moon, and the electromagnetic energy and vibration of the flat Earth that may create the constant flow of the tides as they are in perfect rhythmic harmony for thousands of years, because it's in a closed system. And don't forget about the Coulomb experiment. And apologies. What you need to understand is that between the electrostatics of the coulombs and the gravity of kilograms, what is the reality of the real world is Coulomb, the law of Coulomb, and electrostatics. So gravity is just a theory for fantasy, and everybody knows this. So let's finish the video with what you can truly understand just by looking at the photo. Electromagnetic interaction with the noble gases. See you in the next video.